had the champagne on ice, plastic over all the stuff in our house, and David Johnson destroyed me. First play, 60 yards, TD, bye-bye, any possible chance at a win. But you know what? Congratulations, Kevin. Hard fought. Good for you. Just couldn't cut me a break once, could you? So a little housekeeping before we move on into the recap of the week. First of all, trading. Our trade deadline is November 23rd. I forget what game that is, but just know that if you want to have any trading done, it will have to be done by the 23rd of November. If you are looking to initiate some trades, fill out your trading block. You can get there by going to My Team and then clicking on your roster, and then there's an option for trading block. So that'll help you get some trades going with people if you're looking to upgrade your team. A good amount of you guys have asked if we could all get together and hang. I'll be sending out an email soon asking for which Sundays would be good for everyone to get together. Jared has offered his house, because he is a gracious and courteous man, to let us hang, where he has beer pong tables, lots of couches, a couple of refrigerators, and NFL Red Zone. I don't know about you guys, but I'm stuck watching whatever is on Fox and CBS, and I really hate Joe Buck. So it would be nice to be able just to watch the scoring plays, have a couple of beers, and enjoy some football. I also don't know why I subject myself to Joe Buck and fantasy football this season, because my record is absolutely awful. So now, on to the recap. Kevin beat me with David Johnson, who scored 33 points, and was the only reason he beat me that week. And congratulations, Kevin. You won High Score of the Week again. That puts you at 3 High Score of the Weeks. $36 in your pocket on the season. Way to go, dude. Brian beat Dan with a score of 85-73. Who was led mostly by the Gronkinator. Jared continued his quiet dominance of our league and beat Zach 133-61, who was led by Drew Brees with 32 points. That's pretty solid right there. Eric is turning around his season, and he beat Andrew, who is no longer undefeated. He won 103-88 and was mostly led by the return of Odell Beckham Jr., which is a shame because I just dropped Eli Manning. Ryan is in win number 3 in a streak of 3 and beat Matt 96-81. He tried to trade me James White for Jamison Crowder, and he is the one who has been leading his team to dominance, so I am an idiot for not taking that trade. And then Chris, not really doing too bad, not really doing too good, but he won 125-92 against Evan, who is slowly slipping. Had a fast start, came out of the blocks great, but I don't know what's happening to him now. So we'll see how the rest of the season goes for him. And for those of you who have been keeping track, we are now halfway through our season. Our playoff picture really hasn't gotten too dim except for one person. So hopefully you guys can make some trades, maybe move your teams around a little bit, see who might end up taking away the bacon. So this week I talked to Jared of the Welcome to the Wentz Wagon. I've known Jared a long time. His parents and my parents go way back. We ended up talking for a really long time. I tried to cut the interview down as much as I could, but it's a lot of good stuff. I'm sure you'll enjoy hearing from him and what exactly is the locker room presence that is leading him to a 5-1 record. So enjoy, guys.
I should have asked this before I agreed to do this interview, but is there any sort of curse that's happening to the people that get interviewed? Do they lose after this? I haven't really paid attention to that.
No. So Kevin did it last week. Kevin beat me.
Okay.
So, and then Ryan did it, and that's actually, I think I am the one that's cursed, because now that I think about it, Ryan did his, and that started his 3 weeks of winning. Kevin did his, and he beat me with David Johnson. Andrew did his, he lost this week, but it's not like he was, there was no Madden curse or anything. I mean, you're putting together a nice, quiet little season here, though. You've been sliding under the radar. Nobody's really...
I'm trying to, not try to say too much here and there, and just hang around that second, third spot, not attract too much attention, but just keep picking up the wins, stay up there in the points. I like where I sit right now. I was looking at my team. I feel like I got a complete team. Like
Mm-hmm.
not a lot of holes. My bench is okay, but I mean pretty consistent overall. I think Lamar Miller's kind of my X factor. That if he has a big game, I pretty much win. If he doesn't, then it could go either way. Like I've won some close ones with low scores. Like
Mm-hmm.
I think I won like by zero point 0.3 points one week. That was that kneel down one where I won like it was like 88.7 to 88.4 or something, and because of the kneel downs that whoever I was playing had.
Matt. And
Yeah.
he had Dak Prescott and he kneeled down
Yep.
3 times.
Yep. So I guess as unlucky as I am in my other leagues, I got some luck in this one, so I can't
Yeah.
complain too much. I don't know, the whole David Johnson thing last week, I was like, oh man, I got this. I got the highest score of the week. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing pretty good. And then
Mm-hmm.
3 touchdowns? Are you kidding me? That's the second time I've been like robbed of the highest score of the week. Where like after Sunday, I'm like, oh man, my team's good.
Have you won one yet?
No, I haven't.
You
I think
haven't.
the first week I had a high score, and someone came in and tore me up.
The first week Evan scored. That was when Evan scored like 180 points, I think. Like it was a
Yeah,
ridiculous.
I think I had like 170 or something. Early in the day, like I was dominating, and then I think you said something. You're like, "Geez, stop scoring," and then Evan just passed me up. Whatever. I'm still happy with where I sit right now.
You're winning. I mean, that's yeah.
Yeah, and I mean Carson Wentz, since he joined my team, has inspired me to 2 victories. So can't complain about that. Honestly, I only picked him up for 1 week. He's really gonna ride my bench. I have Drew Brees. Like I'm
Yeah.
not gonna unless Brees goes down. Wentz is really just there to inspire the team. Like dude's a winner. The dude's a winner. Like every year he was on North Dakota State. They won the FCS championship, even when he
Yeah.
was redshirting. Man, 5 years in a row.
That's got
So
to
it
be
doesn't
some
matter.
locker
He
room.
doesn't have to be playing. He just has to be with the team. So I did my homework on the guy. He's worth $21.
Yeah, well, I mean, somebody just paid $26 for TJ Yeldon, so I think
Yeah.
that was $21 on Carson Wentz.
And he went to an FCS school, which I have a special place in my heart for that as a
Has
Cal Poly SLO alum.
is Slow ever been good? Like, have they?
Hey man, we're ranked right now.
Are
Or we
you?
were in the last couple weeks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
fair enough, fair enough. Well,
we've made the playoffs a couple times, but never
never.
got past like the first or second round.
What's the culture at Slow like for football? Is there like a football culture there, or?
I mean, it's probably the biggest sport, but that's not saying much. Like, if the team's good, people are at the game.
Yeah.
Like, it's pretty much football games get a decent amount of people, and then soccer when we play UCSB.
Mm-hmm.
For whatever reason, that's a big rivalry. Like, people throw tortillas on the field and stuff. Football would get a good amount of people, and we've had like 1 or 2 NFL players that are recognizable.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them was on the team when I was there.
Mm-hmm.
Ramses Barden. He played on the Giants for a year, so he had one good fantasy week, and like everyone picked him up. He had like 2 touchdowns, 150 yards. Everyone picked him up, and that's like it. But he has a Super Bowl ring, so
That's all that matters. You got the
yeah.
championship.
Plus we got John Madden. He went to SLO, so
Oh, I didn't know John Madden was a Slow.
yeah, a long time ago.
Wow.
But how do the power rankings work? Like. Is that actually something that ESPN is spitting out most of it, and then, or is there any sort of like subjectivity that you have?
Basically, I just have this Excel file, right? And every week I put in everybody's scores, right? So this is like, it's not really that subjective. Don't have much to do with it. You have your total scores here, your average scores, your high, your low, and your deviation between everything. And then this table over here it ranks how overall you would have done against the whole league. Evan the first week beat everybody, and then he's slowly been falling off here. Where am I? I'm this one, so I've been sucking pretty much the whole year. And then I put in wins, and I have it do your overall wins. This is consistency, so basically how consistent you are in scoring points. And then this is the roster score that ESPN turns out. So that's the only thing that ESPN does. Your overall record, your overall wins based against the whole league, how consistent you are, how many points you have, and then the roster, and then it's just an average of everything. And as you can see, I am still garbage. You have been sitting here forever.
Yeah, I've kind of been 2 or 3 the whole season, which, like, for a while I thought I was overrated, but maybe there's something there because I've been pretty consistent.
That's what I'm saying. Like in Andrew's been a 3 the whole time. It's Kevin who started out pretty bad and worked its way up the table. But you and Andrew have been here the whole time.
So I'll be betting on a lot of football this weekend.
Well,
Fantasy will take a backseat to.
I may be Venmoing you some money then because Andrew and I are actually kind of degenerate gamblers, and whenever we know somebody's in Vegas, we're always like, "Hey, help me out, put some money on a game for me."
Sure. Yeah, I'll do it.
My goal with Vegas is to come away even. As long as I come away even, I have a good time.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
It's like a free weekend, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'll put $20 down on the Eagles to win the Super Bowl for you if you want. I don't know.
Actually, preseason, Andrew was like, "Hey, there's all these Eagle prop bets. What do you want?" And the prop bet I took was that the Eagles would finish 8-8 or better, which isn't looking that bad at this point in the season.
I put like $20 on the Dodgers to win the World Series. They were, I think, 15-1 at the time.
Yep.
So I don't know. We'll see.
You know, when the Kings won the Cup the last time, I had $30 on the Kings to win the Cup.
Nice.
And the odds were 12-1, I think. But that was like a nice little. Like when it won, I was like, "Great, this is awesome!"
Right,
you know,
win-win right there. Yeah. To be honest, I also put $10 down on the Niners at 100-1 to win the Super Bowl. So, you win some, you lose some.
Yeah.
You know, I do those like the future bets like that every once in a while just for the heck of it.
Yeah.
I've thrown away every ticket that I've ever done on that, but. You know, this is probably the closest I'll get with that Dodgers bet, but I don't want to jinx it, so I'm not going to win right now.
I always bet on the Angels every year to win the World Series, and I've thrown away every ticket I've ever had on the Angels because they're just garbage too. Do you have a favorite sport to bet on?
It's football. Football, going there all day Sunday and just like parlays and watching all the games at once. I got my fantasy teams going. It's definitely football. The second most best would be March Madness. I've been there once during March Madness, and that was a blast.
Really?
Like, they have all these prop bets going. You know, there's all these teams you don't know anything about, so you're kind of just throwing money around, and you get lucky. You know, you lose some, you win some. But that was pretty fun. I'm going back this year in March Madness. But
what's the biggest parlay you've ever done?
Oh, I think I've done a 5-team, but I've never won more than like a 2-team. I think.
Oh, okay.
I've never hit like a big one, and it's always I've gotten close. Or like 4 out of 5, like crap like that, and it's always the like obvious ones that end up not going your way.
I've hit a 3-team parlay once. That was my biggest sports gambling win. Do you play craps or blackjack or anything like that too?
Yeah, I try to play craps when I'm out there, but usually for me it's only if the group I'm with, other people will play. I don't like to play by myself. That's the thing that scares me about craps is like, in order to win big, you have to put a lot of money on the table, but then it can just get wiped in an instant.
Yeah.
And, like, so I've found when I'm more aggressive, I do better, but do I want to have $300 on the table? Like, that's like my gambling budget for the weekend.
Do you do poker at all when you go to Vegas too?
I've done like Pai Gow. I don't know if you've ever played that, but I've never done like Hold'em or anything.
No.
I've kind of wanted to because, you know, I've played Hold'em enough that I know what I'm doing. I think I'm just kind of intimidated, like playing against other people that probably are really good, and I'm not a good bluffer, like, or I don't like to bluff. I just don't like that uncertainty of, you know, not knowing that I could win this. I have to like trick someone, so I think I just get intimidated. I'll probably do it someday.
You know,
do you play?
Yeah, tournaments are a lot better just because you have a better chance at reading. You don't have to read the people so much. You just know off the cards and by the way the betting's going whether or not you should be in or out of a hand. Tournaments are a lot more fun, and I think you would enjoy more, especially if you don't like bluffing or you don't like the uncertainty of it all, because most of the people who play tournaments know what they're doing, so you're not going to get in against like a bunch of like random people who just showed up with $200 and is like going in do 7 offsuit. Anything else you wish to say to the rest of the league?
No, not really. I mean, I don't want to offend anyone because I don't know anyone, so you know, I'm just trying to keep that low profile. You know, not stand out too much. If something exciting happens, I'll speak up. But
fair enough.
I think, you know, I'm happy with Carson Wentz, and I think he's really solidified my team. Like, that was the missing piece. Yeah, it was the missing piece I needed on the bench, and you know, he's going to bring some of that winner's attitude to the rest of the team, the rest of the season. I'm looking forward to making the playoffs and maybe embarrassing some people then, but I'm trying not to chalk too much trash early on because I don't want it to come back and bite me. Whole Ohio State versus Miami thing. I don't understand that. I don't even think I have any SC players on my team. But
No, zero.
I don't think so. That's not my draft strategy. I'm not a homer picker. I pick for value. Throughout the season, you got to pick up those guys like Carson Wentz who really bring that locker room
The
presence.
whole locker room together. Excuse me, my dog is eating our In-N-Out bag. Yeah, I don't have anybody from UCLA.
Yeah, but I am representing the FCS with Carson Wentz,
Yeah,
so
and
I
that's
think
all that
that's
matters.
the Cal Poly spirit. Like, yeah, he may not have gone to Cal Poly, but I feel like the FCS as a collective, we all bond together against the big schools. I was looking at your team like, oh, do I want to trade any of my bench players to Daniel? Like, honestly, the weakest part of my team is my kicker, I feel like. So I was looking and even your kicker sucks, man. I was like, maybe I'll throw him a bone and like, trade him for his kicker and give him an actual position player. But nope, I'm not taking your kicker.
I can't.